Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Zarra versus Nadeau and McCafferey.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Zarra, welcome back.
Hi, Your Honor.
After your last appearance in this courtroom, you confess you walked away devastated upon finding out you were not the biological father of the defendant's son.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you say that experience has left you in doubt about whether you're the father of her 8-month-old daughter as well.
Yes.
Ms. Nadeau, you admit you had the shock of your life when the results were read and you learned Mr. Zarra's best friend was the father of your son.
Yes.
Now, according to Mr. Zarra, the man seated next to me could be your daughter's biological father.
According to him.
But once again, you claim there's no way that's true.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so additionally, Mr. Zarra has requested you take a lie detector test to determine how many other men are potential fathers, and we'll have those results shortly. Mr. Zarra, tell me about the doubts concerning Ms. Nadeau's daughter.
Well, one, she's like a whore, Your Honor, and...
Let's use respectful language. So you believe
Excuse
she's promiscuous?
Yes, and she sleeps with everybody I know, pretty much.
That's what you claim.
And so when you were in the courtroom for the last particular hearing, it was unfortunately revealed you were not the father.
Yes.
And please expand upon why you believe those results have anything to do with Ms. Nadeau's daughter.
Because I think that Cameron and Ariella look alike. Both the babies look alike.
And they're both mine, so hence why they look alike.
Yeah, but that Cameron wasn't mine, so I really don't know whose it is. If it's not mine, it could be several people, so that's the main thing.
And you say it could be several people's.
Yes, to him, pretty much.
So you have a strong feeling it could be Mr. McCaffery's?
Yes.
Impossible.
So, Mr. McCaffery, were you intimate with Ms. Nadeau?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were?
Yes.
Without protection?
Yes.
This was before my 2-year-old was conceived, never mind my daughter.
And so your contention is you were intimate with him before the window of conception?
Yes.
And you were also intimate with Mr. Zarra at the same time?
No. When I got pregnant with Ariella, I was only sleeping with Mr. Zarra. Me and Mr. McCaffery stopped sleeping together years ago.
She was pretty much the community jump-off. She was sleeping with me, my boy, and him, but who knows if it was all at the same time? You know what I mean?
So, Mr. Zarra, do you believe that?
Yes.
So, Mr. Zarra, you say you brought a surprise witness.
Yes.
And he has proof that Mr. McCaffery and Ms. Nadeau were sleeping together.
Yes.
Was he
Jerome,
there?
please escort this witness in. I want to hear from him.
Hello, come on in. If you go up here next to the plaintiff.
Hello, sir.
How you doing, Your Honor?
State your name for the court.
Marino Emerald.
Mr. Emerald, thank you for joining us today. We are here discussing the paternity of baby Ariella. And it's our understanding from testimony that Mr. Zarra believes Ms. Nadeau and Mr. McCaffery were sleeping together during the window of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
What facts do you have or what knowledge do you have regarding this situation?
Well, Your Honor, first off, I seen the two individuals together when I was with one of Tom's ex-girlfriends. We ran into them two at a store. And I known Tyler for a while, Mr. McCarthy for a while. And I stopped to say what's up, and then Kayla ended up getting into an altercation with the...
And that's Ms. Nadeau?
Yes, with an individual that I was with. And we kept it moving from there, but I seen the two together, hanging together and everything.
So hold on, you seen us together, right? Did we have our clothes on?
Yeah.
Were we sleeping together right in front of your face? Did
No.
you see us have sexual intercourse?
Do I know you
So
have
your
sexual
testimony
intercourse?
is completely irrelevant.
I seen you together.
And
hanging.
so now,
Irrelevant.
since Ms.
Absolutely,
Nadeau
100%.
is running the courtroom, you know, and actually, Ms. Nadeau, I'm not sure if there were eyewitnesses with the person you were sleeping with in the last case, when unfortunately,
No, but I never
you
denied
ended
sleeping
up,
with either one
you
of them in the last
ended
case.
up in a situation where Mr. Zarra was not the father
Absolutely.
of the
And
child.
I told
and
you-
look, Miss Nadeau, let me really break this down for you, because unfortunately, that situation is what has led him to the doubt he's experiencing right now. And it's valid. And so although you may say no one saw you have sex, I'm sure in Mr. Zarra's mind, which this wasn't in your line of questioning, is why were you two hanging around together?
Because we were friends. I'm not allowed to be friends with somebody I previously slept with.
Well, you can. It's a possibility. But when you're a woman that walked into a courtroom just a few weeks ago and didn't know who your child's father was, and it ended up being not the person you thought it was, then when you're hanging around with another person that you previously slept with, the man that believes he's the father of a certain baby may have a doubt about whether he is the father of that baby based upon the fact that the last time you were in court with him, he was not the father of the baby when the results were read. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. I'd like to hear from you, sir. Please stand. Now, Mr. Santelli, you were here before.
Yes.
And you are the gentleman that ended up being her child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are best friends with Mr. Zarra.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, best friends. That's something.
Well,
So,
okay, hold
what
on. Let
do
me
you know
correct that.
about
We're not
best
as close as we
friends
used to be.
Okay, well,
Give
you're
us a
not
second.
as close as you used to be. So now, what do you have to add to this
Well,
story?
all I have to say is that when I was with Kayla the longest out of anybody. I was with her first. When me and her first initially split up, she had started talking to Tyler. They weren't together in a relationship. They were together as friends. They hung out together. They partied. They did what they did. They were friends with benefits, more or less.
That's Mr.
Yes,
McCafferey.
Mr. McCafferey sitting right by your side.
So what do you know about this time?
I know a lot of people that hung around with them. They were all coming up to me, telling me that Tommy is out there with Kayla. At first, I was mad that he was with Kayla because, like I said, she was my girl.
But your
and then
friends,
people are
best
telling me
friends.
that she's now pregnant with Tommy's daughter, but she's doing the same thing to Tommy that she did to me. That she
Absolutely
was
not.
sleeping around with Tyler at the same time. There was actually two people, but the other guy is not here, so I'm not going to use his name. But there were
So
two
now,
people that
Mr.
she was allegedly messing
I would
around
love
with. That
to know
that
who
was
this
So,
other
Mr.
person.
McCafferey,
Yes, Your Honor.
you hear this testimony?
Yes.
You admit you were intimate with Ms. Nadeau.
Yes.
And what was the nature of the relationship at the time?
It was just friends with benefits. We'd hang out, party. That's about it.
No, sir, that's
and
not
so you
even.
had unprotected sex
We had
more than one time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you remember when this was?
I don't remember the exact date it happened on, but I'm
It
pretty
started
sure
on
it
his
was,
18th birthday.
It did start on my 18th birthday.
Ma'am, if you don't let him testify for himself,
Tell him to tell the truth then.
you over-talking him just makes you sound guilty. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. Do you remember when you were in a sexual relationship with Ms. Nadeau and the extent of time?
I don't remember the extent of time. It went over for a good amount of period of time. And I don't remember the last time we slept together, but I'm pretty sure there was snow on the ground.
Snow was on the ground.
Yes.
And you all are from
Rhode Island.
Real.
Rhode Island.
Yes, Your Honor.
Providence?
Yes.
Around that area? All right, so let's back up. Miss Nadeau, your child's birthday is when?
December 9th.
December 9th, okay. We got December 9th. Let me open up my computer here and let's see what we can figure out. If I back here, the window of conception would have been around March 6th, March 8th, around that first week or so of March. Luckily, with the internet, we can check and see what the weather was around then. So let me see.
There's no snow on the ground in March in Rhode Island.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Definitely is.
Was it your
Lot of rhyme
testimony
with you
that
in it.
there's no snow on the ground in March in Rhode Island? I'm reading what is called a storm summary. March 6th through 8th during that week, a significant snowstorm affected the region. The first round of the storm produced moderate snowfall, and then the second part over performed with widespread
That's a lot of
The
snow.
snow has nothing to do with it
heavy
at the end of the
snow.
day.
So, Mr. McCaffery,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you think you could be Ariella's
There's
father in your mind?
possibilities.
Absolutely not.
So, what is this?
Just look at it. It's a picture of our eyes. Mine and the baby's eyes.
The looks really have nothing to do with it.
This is a picture
Nor does
of
the
your
snow on the
eyes
ground.
split with
Ariella's.
baby Ariella's, and you believe they're similar.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the two witnesses, thank you so much for your testimony. You may have a seat. Mr. Zarra, this was very interesting. You also petitioned the court for a lie detector test.
Yes.
Why?
She lies to me all the time, and I just want to find out truth.
He's a
about
liar
certain things.
too. They all are.
You just lied
Really.
like 6 times.
At the
on
end
that.
of the day, you all lie. You just do nothing but lie.
Your Honor, I also have this I would like to show to you.
What is that? Jerome, is that your evidence?
Yes. It's a list of guys that she possibly could be the dad.
my God, now
that
they know every guy in
that
the world
I
I've
was
slept
told
with.
that she was sleeping with, but I
That
don't
they
have
were
any
told.
hard evidence.
They were told. It's all rumors.
But everything was a
lies,
rumor,
and
but he
based
just sat
off
there and said that he
drama
was having
that you
sex
guys
with you,
feed
so-
into. That's all it is.
So this is a list of 6 men,
Yeah.
6 names.
Yes.
You've been told that Miss Nadeau was also intimate with.
Yes, and I don't even think that's including Mr. McCaffery.
Do you have first-hand knowledge of
No.
any of this?
Not necessarily.
You got
but-
some videotapes,
Not,
some
no,
evidence,
not a videotape,
some-
anything like that, but just like this last situation that I had a
You
hunch
just got
on.
a bunch
and
of
obviously it
rumors,
was
a
true.
bunch of people telling you something that you just go on and believe.
And on top of that, when you know somebody like that, you can tell when they're lying. I
Yeah,
can just
okay.
tell.
I'd
She's
love to
always
know the
lying.
lie detector test results, so can we get through that one?
Let me break something down for you. Did you ever sleep with him?
Yes, I did.
Did you sleep with him?
Yes, I did.
Did you sleep with him?
Yes, I did.
Have you slept with her too?
Absolutely
Well,
not.
goodness gracious.
I went first.
So, okay. I'm trying to break this down to you so you can understand it, because this anger you have, it's not productive, and it's not going to be
falls back on me.
exactly, which means you got to leave
But
these
I'm not
guys
the
alone.
only bad guy. They need to leave me
I
alone.
don't think
then.
you're a bad guy. I just think you're a girl that made some wrong
You
choices,
think-
just like there are
I'm
guys
not the
that
one
made
who
wrong
calls
choices.
them up. I'm not the one who goes running to them. That's not how it works at home. I live this on a daily basis.
I remember from the last case you saying that at the end of the day, after I have dealings with all of these people, I'm here by myself having to raise these children.
Yes.
That I have no help.
Yes.
That's what I want you to understand, all right? So let's just
half
move
of
on.
it.
Mr. Zarra, you wanted results of the lie detector test.
Yes, Your Honor.
You believe she's not truthful.
Yes.
I have those results. Jerome? Before I get to these results, is there anything, Miss Nadeau, you believe I will find out? Were you
No.
truthful?
Yes.
Anything else for the record you feel like you may have left out of your testimony?
No.
No? Okay. Ms. Nadeau, you were asked, are there any other potential biological fathers of baby Ariella other than the 2 men who have been DNA tested for this case? That's Mr. Tom Zarra and Mr. Tyler McCaffery. You answered no. And the lie detector results revealed you were being truthful.
Thank you.
So now we're down to 2 men. Mr. McCaffery says he was in a sexual relationship with you. Mr. Zarra says he was as well. We have the DNA results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Zarra v. Nadeau, McCafferey, when it comes to 8-month-old Ariella Nadeau, as to whether Mr. Zarra or Mr. McCafferey is her biological father, it has been determined by this court that her father is Mr. Zarra.
You have a lot of apologizing to do. A lot. You want to tell everybody how sorry you are?
You didn't apologize to me, just saying.
I don't have an apology to owe to you.
Right, so he don't have one to pay.
Yes, he does.
I don't have an apology to anybody.
You apologize every other day.
Listen, it's not cute to come into a courtroom and downgrade a girl you willingly slept with, because if it was just, really, I mean, let's really be honest. You all have a little bit too much cockiness, a little bit too much swagger, but you don't have nothing to back it up. And to sit up and downgrade their mother is trifling. Thankfully, this courtroom has some resources. I want you to sit down. I want you to talk through this. And I'm going to check on you all. Because as I said before, there are certain cases where I walk off this bench saying to myself, Lord, help these kids. And I'm in this position right now. I want you all to get this thing together. Court is adjourned.
As far as me and her working it out, or as parents, I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out as far as counseling or any sort of help that we can get.
I'm afraid for them. I'm always going to be their mom, whether I'm making mistakes or I'm doing it right. But they're not always going to be their dad.